Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, a substitute teacher is removed from Gladstone High School following student complaints. Plus, we'll hear more from law enforcement on what steps victims can take when experiencing stalking. And another demonstration is held in Marquette surrounding the current tension with ICE in Minneapolis. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Welcome in. A first look at your forecast. Earlier today, I talked about a relief in terms of temperatures and the snow. We're not looking at major snow. There might be some leftover and just stubborn snowflakes flying around. Really shouldn't accumulate too much, but we will see some light snow for tomorrow with cloudy skies. And of course, once you get those winds from the north, you can get some of that lake influence, and it also can significantly cool down those feels-like temperature. The wind chill, what you should be dressing for, will be in that sub-zero range for tomorrow, but that's the last of it before the improvement comes for the weekend. I'll break down those details in just a few.
Kelly, thank you very much. Today, Gladstone High School removed a substitute teacher from the premises due to student concerns. This afternoon, a few students told administrators they felt uncomfortable with their substitute teacher due to exhibited behavior. Administrators and a school resource officer immediately escorted the substitute out of the building. While the principal says there was never an immediate danger to students or staff, the substitute teacher is no longer permitted to work in the school district. The school is currently investigating the situation further. January is nationally recognized as Stalking Awareness Month. WZMQ 19's Lily Simmons sat down with Escanaba Public Safety and Tri-County Safe Harbor to learn about what stalking involves and what victims should know.
Stalking is everywhere. Anyone can be stalked. Anyone can be a stalker. It is a willful act where someone harasses you endlessly.
To be legally defined as stalking, a person's actions have to meet certain criteria.
The person has to feel terrorized, frightened, intimidated, threatened, harassed, or molested, and that action had to cause them to also feel that way. It has to be 2 or more unwanted contacts. It can't be somebody just calling on the phone. It has to be some action behind that.
Another hurdle for victims is that the look of stalking has changed over the years.
Statistics show that the majority of us know who our stalker is. But with technology, sometimes it's challenging.
I'd say majority of ours that we deal with are all electronic. A lot of that is through text messages and social media. There's a lot of apps that you can create different numbers, so that has been a big speed bump in our investigations.
Stalking causes victims to experience intense fear and hypervigilance. Thankfully, Tri-County Safe Harbor is here to help victims in Delta, Schoolcraft, and Menominee counties.
We can help with personal protection orders. We have 24/7 services. Our helpline number is 906-789-1166.
For law enforcement, one of the most helpful things someone with a stalker can do is to document everything.
Keep a notebook with things that have happened, keep conversations, do screenshots so that we have those that we can reference back to. If somebody is continuing that harassment after a personal protection order has been obtained, that actually enhances the charges on our end and can make it aggravated stalking, which puts it in the felony level.
Get the license plate, the model of the vehicle, document the time, the date, the location, any descriptive information.
Finally, if you have a stalker, or even if you think you may be a victim, it's important to act quickly.
A lot of times this progresses to something worse, and we want to hit it at that level before it progresses to something like an assault. Reach out to law enforcement. We'll explain what it is or what steps we can take or what steps that they can take to try to stop that from happening.
For a full list of stalking resources, visit WZMQ19.com. Reporting in Escanaba, Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News.
Michigan's Secretary of State is pushing back against claims that non-U.S. citizens are voting in state elections. Secretary Benson says a review by the Bureau of Elections found that most of the 15 cases cited by a Macomb County clerk involved eligible voters, and that only one person who was not a citizen had been found to have a voting history, last casting a ballot in 2018. Benson warned that making public accusations without verification can put lawful voters at risk.
Only U.S. citizens can vote in Michigan's elections, while national and state reviews prove again and again that it is very rare. I take any reports of illegal voting in our state very seriously.
Benson says her office is already preparing safeguards for the 2026 and 2028 elections. In the wake of the unrest in Minneapolis due to the recent ICE activity and the killing of 2 protesters in 2 weeks, a Marquette church decided to have a sing-along for peace. The Marquette Hope First Church held a musical vigil this evening in their sanctuary. Local musicians played to a standing room-only crowd, singing songs of hope and protest. Many were familiar anthems from the civil rights era.
The biggest goal here is to give us a little bit of reprieve from the barrage of bad news that we hear all the time. And also to look to your neighbors, look right, left, look to each other, lean on each other. We're all here for each other.
Tonight's vigil saw spectators packing the hallways, filling up the center aisle of the church's main sanctuary. It was 1 year ago tonight when the airspace over our nation's capital turned into a scene of unimaginable tragedy. An American Airlines regional jet and a military helicopter collided mid-air over the Potomac River, killing 67 people. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon revisits the scene 1 year later and shares what investigators found after the investigation.
Collision between that Black Hawk military helicopter and that American Airlines CRJ-700 plane.
It was a cold January evening shortly after 8 o'clock when an unimaginable tragedy rattled the capital region and the country.
Both aircraft crashing into the river.
After piecing together the tragic collision in the Potomac River behind me, the National Transportation Safety Board has released its findings following its 1 year investigation.
The helicopter's main rotor contacted the underside of the airplane's left wing, resulting in the outboard section of the wing separating in flight.
New animated simulations show the moments leading up to the collision from 3 points of view. The U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter,
American 472 Washington,
Flight 5342,
American 472 Washington,
and the air traffic control tower at Reagan National Airport. The investigation found there was not one person or single entity that is to blame. Rather, it was a systemic failure.
Any individual shortcomings were set up for failure by the systems around them.
Failures in airspace design, failures in safety systems, failures to act on warnings that had existed for decades.
We should be angry because for years no one listened. This was 100% preventable. Having a helicopter route crossing runway 33 with only 75 feet separating a helicopter and civilian aircraft. Nowhere in the airspace is that okay.
The NTSB released a total of 74 findings and 50 safety recommendations targeting the airspace around Reagan, training, routing, and safety oversight. Reporting in Washington, Brendan Scanlon, WZMQ 19 News.
Kelly Rowland has your first warning weather forecast when we come back. Plus, a first-of-its-kind skin treatment in the UP is now in Marquette. We'll have the details after this.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
And welcome back. We're going to be talking more cold and more snow, more so the cold aspect, but we are improving at least a little bit throughout the week here. 8 yesterday, 9 today for the high temperature in Marquette. I know the average is in the 20s and we would love to get back to that. That is on the way pretty soon. We will start to shift gears, feel those recovering temperatures, and we've just been waiting for the seasonal temperatures because we've been so below average for so long. So this warm up is actually just going to warm us up to the seasonal conditions where we should be for this time of the year, and then we'll coast through that seasonal range for a lot of the beginning of February. And we also are looking toward Groundhog Day on Monday. He has statistically, Punxsutawney Phil, seen his shadow 108 times, 6 more weeks of winter, no shadow 21 times. And there's definitely one that he's favoring. Maybe he's a little bit angry getting pulled out of his warmth just to see if he sees his shadow. I mean, if someone did that to me, I would say you're getting 10 more weeks of winter. So we know it's all in fun and we got to trust the numbers, and especially because his accuracy is 35 to 40%, which is worse than a coin flip. I'm not trying to stir up anything here. I'm just telling you the numbers. And again, it's all in good fun. So we'll see our fate on Monday. But for your first warning weather futurecast, as we take a look at those lingering and stubborn lake effect snow bands, it does hang around the Munising area, and then for your Friday evening we'll get some more light snow pushing through. I really think it should be anything to, cancel your plans. We're well into winter by now. We should already have that winter mode on how we drive in the snow, how we clear out the snow, and of course how we dress. The extreme cold watches, warnings, and cold weather advisories are a dime a dozen this time of the year, and we have one remaining for the eastern half of the UP. Wind chill values as low as about 25 below, but I just want to show you the different criteria and the thresholds when it comes to cold warnings. If I take you all the way down to Mississippi, where an extreme cold warning is in effect, but that is for wind chill values as low as 2 below. That would be a great improvement for us, and that wouldn't trigger any type of cold alert, but it does down south because it all depends on where you are. We have different thresholds when it comes to cold warnings. It takes a lot, pretty cold conditions for where we are and into Wisconsin, Minnesota, and out west to get those wind chill alerts to be issued. And then of course, as you go down south, it doesn't take much because that's not what they're used to. And some places like Alabama, if they have an inch or 2 of snow in the forecast, that would trigger a winter storm warning where we can get an inch of snow in an hour, especially with lake effect snow. And speaking of lake effect snow, the cold temperature does help to provide some of that ice coverage, but Lake Superior is the deepest of all the Great Lakes, so it's going to take a lot more to get a lot of ice coverage. It's making its way. It's about 16% covered for the ice. And the cold temperatures kind of cut off. We get those improvements for the weekend, close to 30 for Sunday. We're down to the lower 20s for Groundhog Day to see what Punxsutawney Phil says. Mostly cloudy with a few snowflakes and mid-20s as we head into next week.
Kelly, thank you again. Much of the nation is still reeling from last weekend's monster snow and ice storm. Residents in the Northeast are digging out after the storm dropped more than a foot of snow in some areas, while the next blast of Arctic air moves in tomorrow. Parts of Mississippi and Tennessee remain iced over, with thousands of customers still without power as a new coastal storm threatens the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic.
We're making do with what we're able to do right now. I'm going in and out of my vehicle to charge my phone, get a little warmth throughout the day.
As of today, it's confirmed there have been at least 60 deaths directly caused by storm conditions or weather-related accidents across 8 states. A new medical aesthetics technology is making its debut in Marquette, bringing a first-of-its-kind laser treatment to the Upper Peninsula. Our own John Truitt attended tonight's rollout.
Lakeshore Skin and Body Med Spa is introducing what's being called a game changer in skin rejuvenation. Ultra Clear is the world's first FDA-cleared cold fiber laser, and it's now available right here in Marquette.
It's kind of for everyone. If there's something that you're looking in the mirror and not liking, there's probably something that we can do with this laser.
The new technology is designed to treat wrinkles, acne scars, sun damage, and pigmentation across all skin types and tones, something experts say hasn't been possible with traditional resurfacing lasers.
We were seeing these before and afters and thought, almost impossible to get something like this without coming into surgical world. But the things that we're seeing, even just within the past couple months, are shocking.
Unlike conventional laser procedures that often involve significant discomfort and lengthy recovery times, UltraClear uses cold fiber laser technology to stimulate dermal regrowth, delivering noticeable results with far less downtime.
To get those kind of dramatic results with that little downtime, that's really what makes this so different.
Technology aside, the results that matter most are the ones you see in the mirror.
The way we present ourselves to the world and building the confidence and just enhancing what is already beautiful coming from inside, we want to match that for what you're seeing in the mirror, and that looks different for everybody.
This new technology can treat a wide variety of aesthetic concerns without the need to travel to a big city. And it works well on men, too. In Marquette, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
Music's biggest night is only a few days away. Kendrick Lamar, Lady Gaga, and Sabrina Carpenter are setting the tempo with a combined 22 Grammy nominations. Gwen Baumgartner is taking note of who's expected to win big at Sunday's Grammy Awards.
Kendrick Lamar leads the 2026 Grammys with 9 nominations, an encore of last year's success where he took home 5 awards. He's competing again for Record of the Year alongside Bad Bunny, Sabrina Carpenter, Doechii, Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga, Chappell Roan, and Rosé and Bruno Mars.
Initially, I kind of thought Kendrick Lamar had it in the bag. Now, I've kind of changed my tune, and I think it's more of a race in some of the top categories between Bad Bunny and Lady Gaga.
Music critic Chris Willman says the Grammys voter base is evolving.
One thing the Recording Academy has done recently is invite everyone who votes for the Latin Grammys to become a voter for the regular Grammys. And so that is going to cause a big shift, I think, in giving Latin music more of a chance.
Puerto Rican powerhouse Bad Bunny is nominated for 6 Grammys. Newcomer Leon Thomas also has 6 nominations.
That's a real vote of confidence for him. He's kind of the anointed one this year.
However, Willman predicts Olivia Dean will take the award for Best New Artist. She faces off against Thomas, Cat's Eye, The Marias, influencer Addison Rae, Somber, Alex Warren, and messy singer Lola Young. But music's biggest night includes more than just music.
Best audiobook, where you've got the Dalai Lama versus Fab from Milli Vanilli. And only at the Grammys does that become a competition.
The category also includes actress Kathy Garver, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, and Trevor Noah, who returns to host the Grammys for the 6th time.
Mike Ludlam has your sports highlights after the break. He'll tell us tonight's high school basketball results, starting with Lance girls against Baraga. We're back in 2 minutes.
One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. evening, everyone. The Lance girls basketball team defeated number 1 Trout Creek earlier this week. The Purple Hornets had another tough team on the schedule tonight, third-ranked Baraga from the UP Division 4 poll, which of course means that it was the Battle of Baraga County. Now, Lance was in control for much of this contest. We'll pick it up in the second half. A very nice pass from Brielle Bowers to Quinn Voskel, and that's a nice layup down the baseline. The Vikings kept pace as much as they could. Kara Roberts, a nice jab step right there, leaves her defender in the dust and drives in for the bucket. But Lance kept the foot on the gas pedal, finding second chance opportunities. Lola Psychos with the putback on the three-point play. Vikings could not overcome this one. Lance, your winner by the score of 53-37. The Purple Hornets now 10-2 on the year. Meanwhile, over in Alger County, Big Bay Denok against Superior Central. Late in the second quarter, off the miss, Marissa Strom will try a three-pointer at the buzzer from midcourt. Does not work. However, there was a foul call. Then there was a technical foul called on the coach. So Strom had 5 free throw chances, made 4 to even the score at 14 at the break. To the fourth quarter for Big Bay Denok, Callie Miller leads a break, misses. Victoria Durrance grabs the rebound, scores, plus the foul, and we're tied at 21. Superior Central's turn. Strom to Addie Frusty, and she's trusty as she stops and bounces that one in, and the Cougars lead 28-23. Less than 15 seconds to go. Black Bears down 3, but Strom steals the inbound pass, gets fouled on the drive. She makes 1 of 2 from the charity stripe, and that would be enough for Superior Central to win by 4, 31-27. On the board, Houghton races past Escanaba 70-29. It was Kingsford 44, Forest Park 27. Avery Osborne 32 points for Marquette, defeating Westwood 57-40. Menominee keeps winning 61-44 over West Iron County. Jeffers, a quarter and a penny better than Dollar Bay, 53-27. Wakefield Marinisco 58, Ironwood 53. Trout Creek runs past Watersmeet 82-16. It was Norway 73 and North Central 45. Ontonagon and Bessemer will try again tomorrow night. Kearney Nato 15 better than Rapid River 41-26. North Dickinson tops Spark River Harris 53-42. Addie Bowerman pours in 30 more points as Munising drops to Brimley 56-39. Iron Mountain 3 touchdowns better than Manistee 49-28. Cedarville Detour no problem with Angadine. Newberry is 6 better than St. Ignace, and Rudyard 38, Pickford 29. Well, let's go back to the second half of the Baraga County doubleheader between the Lance Purple Hornets and the Baraga Vikings. Vikings came out swinging right from the first whistle. Daniel Connor knows what to do when he gets a step, whether it's forward or backward, hits that step back and puts it in. The Hornets determined to make this a game. Nice passing. Sam Lee is wide open. He's having a pretty darn good season for the purple and white. Drains that one from the outside. Kale Psychos with some vision to see Keegan Davison puts in that shot. Vikings will get a basket next from Landon Smith, but it would be Lance getting the sweep tonight as the Purple Hornets go on to win this one 67-53. Back to Eben for part 2 of Big Bay Denok and Superior Central. Max Pomeroy with the triple here, and the Black Bears are in front 3-2. Looking for more, but Andrew Charleboy with the steal. He will finish with the layup, and that ties the score at 7. Again for the Cougars, Ryder Krupa. Will Spranger, shot is blocked by Tanner Peterson, but Gavin Vining is right there, and Superior Central leads 10-9. Lots of scoring in the last 30 seconds of the first. Krupa no-look inbound pass to Eli Valama for the hoop. Then, just before the buzzer, Parker Pedersen will drain a triple for the Black Bears. A little help from the rim. Superior Central led by 7 after 1, and they go on to win 66-56. Two of the numbers on the boys' side, Terrence Nolan 29, Jack Cook 20 for Houghton, and he combined for 13 triples. Gremlins over Bessemer 70-56. Leland Hellenbeck had 20 for the Speed Boys. West Iron County over Ironwood 68-39. Braden Larson had 32 for Chaslin, the 65-48 win over Calumet. Uintrail Creek easily over Watersmeet 64-24. And a good game over in Engadine where Rapid River is a 2-point winner, 65-63 over the Eagles. GLIAC basketball, the NMU men fall to Grand Valley State 85-80. Cal Klesmet led 5 Wildcats with 17 points. Sydney Whitehouse had 10, but Grand Valley, still number 1, won 70-47. Escanaba's Nicole Kameen had 11 for the Lakers. Michigan Tech's rally fell short. Davenport won 72-69. So NMU, Tech, and the Grand Valley men should be all tied for first place in the conference. 3 Huskies scored 17 points on the men's side. For the women, Davenport won 63-51. Kendall Stanfest had 15 for the Huskies. Menomineen's Anna Axtell, 8 points for Davenport. Lake Superior State men with a big victory, though, 98-67 over Roosevelt. Omar Suleiman had 24 for Lake State, but the women fell 75-68 to Roosevelt. Dana Capaldi had 19 for LSSU. High school hockey, Kingsford edges Negaunee 2-1. Hancock lost 3-2 to Waterford Mott because Waterford Mott's 6'7" goalie made 51 saves. Former NMU football player Robert Saleh has been introduced as the new head coach of the Tennessee Titans. Saleh's first head coaching job with the New York Jets did not go well, but he's been quite good at 2 defensive coordinator stints with the San Francisco 49ers. Saleh says his team will be fast and furious once things get organized.
You know, I've always said that the best coach teams are the teams that coach themselves, but in the beginning, it's going to come from us. And at a certain point, as this team becomes veteran and it takes off and it understands what the standard is, the players will maintain the standard. And at the end of the day, the standard will always be the standard. But it starts with people.
Saleh had a 20-36 regular season record as head coach of the Jets from 2021 to 2024. He did not have a winning season nor a playoff appearance, with his best records being 7-10 in 2022 and 2023. The Philadelphia Eagles have hired Green Bay Packers quarterback coach Sean Mannion as their new offensive coordinator, and we will be right back.
And a final look at your forecast. We're ready to end off the week and head into the weekend. We'll be coasting into the weekend, I think, in style. There is some improvements for tomorrow. We should be rounding things off into the mid to upper teens. Yes, we'll have cloudy skies and some snow, so it might make it a little tougher to actually enjoy those slight warm-up conditions. And in true honesty, it will still be bitter cold, especially for tomorrow morning, slightly improving through the day on Friday, but then we really get going with the recovery of temperatures once we get to the weekend. The snow stays to a minimum, not seeing too much here over the next 48 hours. There may be a stray snowflake or two. Of course, Lake Superior still has that open water, and it's only about 16% frozen, so you can get lake effect snow, obviously, once you get those ingredients set into place. But we should be seeing those near normal temperatures in the 6 to 10 day outlook, and we're even seeing it here. Once we hit Saturday, we'll get some sunshine back, seasonal, and we coast in those seasonal temperature range, and we stay snow free really until this time next week with a few flurries possible.
Kelly, thank you again. Mike, take us home.
We have very sad news from the Michigan Tech hockey program tonight. Jerry McGinnis, the longtime widow of head coach John McGinnis, she passed away this morning at the age of 99, and just angelic. It's about the best word you can say about Jerry McGinnis. Very nice lady. In the NHL, the Red Wings lost in a shootout to Washington 4-3. But during that fine game, Patrick Kane passed Mike Modano for #1 on the U.S.-born points list. In the NBA, Washington defeated Milwaukee 109-99. The Pistons fell to Phoenix 114-96.
Mike, thank you very much, sir. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you back here tomorrow at 6/5 Central. See you then.
Lily Broadcasting stands with the people of Iran.